Number 25, Ole Miss women's basketball lost to Texas A&M, and that's not a good loss when I say that. They were 7-6 prior to this game, and the final score was 60-58. So what exactly happened? Apologize if I'm looking down because I cannot memorize all this stuff. And now it opens up an interesting discussion on who should be at number 25 now, even number 24. I'll explain why later, but first I'm going to go over this game. So what happened in the first half, second half? In terms of points, and I'll go last minute of the game to give some context, and then I'll go over the stats. So, Ole Miss was up 41-25 at halftime. A&M scored 35 points second half, including 20 points in the fourth quarter. Ole Miss scored 17, 6 points in the fourth quarter alone. And that's an A&M team right there, folks, that lost to Texas A&M Corpus Christi. They lost to Villanova. Villanova's not even that good right now. They lost to Ball State. But Ball State, I know, is one of the best teams in their conference. But still, you get the point. They're not that great of a team. So all the credit in the world goes to Texas A&M. They were down 12 going in the fourth quarter. But Ole Miss, what are you doing? You played around with the food and it spat out your face. As in, like, you led up a big lead and you lose to a team like this. I bet Ole Miss fans are disgusted, to say the least. So anyway, around 52 seconds left, Aika Coulibaly from Texas A&M, Aicha Coulibaly made a jumper to make it 59-55, and Ole Miss called timeout around 3 seconds later. And around 43 seconds later, Janae Kent fouled on the three-point shot. KK Deans made all three free throws. You can't foul on the three-point shot, especially when you're up 4. Or foul on a shot or like an and-one situation. So, just saying, and A&M called time around 34 seconds later. Janae Kent missed a 3 around 16 seconds left. Kenny Todd Williams got the defensive rebound, and she turned the ball over, which was stolen by Jada Malone. And the thing about it is, Ole Miss at the time only had 3 team fouls. They had to foul twice quick. I mean, within 1 second of each other. Around 10 seconds left. Madison Scott fouled, and Tamia Seidler around 6 seconds left fouled, and now A&M got to the line. And Stoll Williams could have said, you need a 3-pointer to tie this thing up. She missed the first up, but she made the second to be up 2, and Ole Miss called timeout to advance the ball, and they called timeout again because they couldn't get the ball in. And Tamia Seidler tried to go for a layup, but missed it, and the rebound was behind Janae Kent, and that was ball game. So, this is in terms of percentages. So, it could have been really good defense, and that's why they missed shots. And if they made shots, it's with the good defense, it is what it is, and not that point. So, this is just based on terms of percentages. Ole Miss didn't shoot the ball good in terms of percentages. 35.8% from the field on 53 attempts. You made a 30 of threes on 12 attempts. 72.7% on free throws on 22 attempts. 32 rebounds. 12 of those offensive. 8 assists. 9 steals. 1 block. 14 turnovers. 14 fouls. 10 points off the bench. 3 double-digit scores that combine for 11 plus 14. That's 25 plus 10. That's 35 points. 3 other players scored 6 more points in this game. That combined for 6 plus 9. That's 15 plus 7. That's 22 points. And Texas A&M scored how many bench points? 14 plus 4. That's 18 plus 2. That's 20. And 2 double-digit scores only, and that combined for 32 points. And they had 2 other players that scored 6 more points that combined for 17, 9 plus 8. And Texas A&M shot the ball better from the field. 40.7% from the field on 54 attempts. They only made a quarter of your threes, though, on 16 attempts, as in 4 makes. They made 2/3 of your free throws on 18 attempts. 37 rebounds, 12 of those offensive. 7 assists, 6 steals, 5 blocks, 17 turns, 17 fouls. Well, I'm going to just be upfront about this. A&M has to practically win the conference tournament to think about an NCAA tournament, unless they pull off some many upsets in a row and win enough conference games, I don't see them making the NCAA tournament. Maybe they're going to make the NIT or even a lower conference than that, but that's just besides me. Now I'm going to go over like points out turnovers, points in the paint, fast break points from here. Points out turnovers favored Ole Miss, but barely 17-6, and fast break points favored Ole Miss 6-2. But Texas A&M won points in paint 26-24. So what do these two teams have going for the next 5 games? And I'm going to go over Ole Miss, and when you look at the schedule, they have a nice home slate coming up. I mean, the next 4 out of 5 are at home. And only one of the only road game was actually in their state in Mississippi. I mean, on January 9th, you got Vanderbilt at home. January 12th, you got Alabama at home. You got Florida at home. January 16th, January 19th, you got on the road to Mississippi State. Then you got Texas at home, one of the best teams in the SEC. And January 26th. So now Texas A&M, man, they have a brutal back-to-back games coming up. They're both road games. January 9th, you got to go on the road to South Carolina. That's tough. You got Oklahoma the following game, January 12th, on the road. That's tough, too. You got Georgia at home. That is a must-win when I see one for Texas A&M. On January 16th. January 23rd, you got Kentucky at home. If you want to think about making NCAAs, you got to win that type of game. If you would beat a South Carolina or Oklahoma, that would be huge. But both of those are on the road. Then you got to go on the road to LSU. And if you would have beat LSU, that would really help yourself on January 26th. So, yeah. To say the least, this opens up the interesting conversation of who's number 25. This is a bad loss for Ole Miss. They were receiving 48 votes in the AP this past week. And I checked. Everybody has lost at least once. Utah is TBD. They have to go on the road to Iowa State next. And Harvard won their only game, but that's against Yale. I mean, everybody else lost at least once. Illinois lost twice. And Nebraska lost at least once this past week too. So, yeah. This is going to be interesting, to say the least. And it's not including Michigan losing this week. And what if Iowa were to lose? I mean, if Cal were to lose to SMU, that would open up a can of worms, to say the least. And Iowa takes on Maryland at home. So that's really big for the AP poll discussion. Because if Iowa were to lose, then you got to replace number 23, number 24, and number 25 potentially. At least 24 and 25, I think. You have to kick them out. It's more like how many teams are going to receive votes. Obviously, if Utah were to win against Iowa State, they're probably going to get in. And Oklahoma State destroyed Baylor at Baylor. But then Oklahoma State lost to Kansas. That was not even receiving votes. And that game wasn't even in Stillwater. And Baylor, after that loss to Oklahoma State, they beat Colorado, who beat West Virginia. So, I'm just making a point. And like I said, Illinois lost twice this week, which helps all those teams behind them in terms of receiving votes, even. And we already know that Mississippi State are at least lost once because they lost to South Carolina pretty handily at home, as in like Mississippi State today. And they actually lost again. They lost twice this week too. So, and they're both pretty convincing. So, yeah, I do think that's going to be Mississippi State not receiving any votes. I would think, in theory, that would be the case. So, we're going to wait and see what happens in terms of the AP poll when it comes out for the next one. especially for those receiving vote teams, because now they have an interesting debate on who's number 24, 25, potentially number 23, and if Cal were to lose, will they be kicked out, and how many votes they're going to receive? I mean, Cal is going to go on the road to SMU later, so we're going to wait and see what happens, and it's not including. Yeah, Michigan State won their only game this past poll. I mean, a game between now and the next one. So, it just makes things more interesting to say the least. So, anyways, if you like this content, hit the like and subscribe button. And I'll see you guys later on the road to 7 subscribers. Course ultimate goal is 1,000 more. Some more money out this course. Like a video, comment the video really helps YouTube algorithms so more people can see it. Sharing the video does help as well, so more people could watch. And if you're watching and not subscribed, hit subscribe button, hit the notification bell as well.